Don Wilson here for Top MMA News, here with Remi Bam Bam Morvan. So you started off your career winning 6 of your first 7 fights. Why don't you give us a little story about how you started and how the first 7 fights went down for you?
I started training jiu-jitsu, competing a lot all over the States, and then we got this crazy call to go fight in Guam. And my coach Pat says, "Remi, do you want to go fight in Guam for a pro MMA fight?" I'm like, yeah. So 4 weeks later, we were off in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and then I lost that fight, but I came really close about twice in that fight, two really good arm bars. And so after the fight, I was like, you know what, I can do well in this sport, so let's keep going. And I took about a year to improve. I saw what I needed to improve on, which was a lot, and then a year later just came back in 08, went off with 5 fights in a row in 1 year, so it's been a busy time since, and I don't know, it was a good time. It was going, so going through a rough patch now, and we're looking to come back out of it.
Speaking of the rough patch, it really started with a really big fight, which was for the inaugural W1 bantamweight title. Big fight with Adrian Woolley, a wrestler that just takes you down, grinds you. What did you learn from that fight?
A lot. I learned a lot from that fight just because it's 25 minutes. So I was even doubting myself if I can last 25 minutes. And the 4th and 5th round weren't the hardest rounds. It was more, when the fight was over, he didn't finish me. He beat me good. He won all 5 rounds hands down, but he didn't beat me. He didn't finish me. So at the end, I would have been okay to keep going. I'm a believer that I'll catch you eventually.
Well, you definitely game every round. That was a great fight that we saw live, and we just loved it. After that, you lost twice to Rolly Delarme. Big thing there, the next fight you have after your rec fight is going to be Eric Perez, a teammate of Rolly. How do you find having a camp that's able to look at you twice already for a fight, and then now a 3rd time? How does that make you feel?
They're gonna look at like the 2 fights, but I find I fought differently in both fights. I totally in the first fight I totally underestimated my opponent. I'll be honest about that. And I tried to take him to the ground right away. I shot in. I was successful twice. And then the second fight I stood there and I traded, and he took me down. So if they think they know what I'm going to do, then they can come up with a game plan or whatever, but I look to spoil their game plan for sure.
Now speaking of Eric Perez, before we get into Chance Whalen, recently on Top MMA News, Eric, we posted a video interview with him where one of his lines was, when I touch him, he's going to sleep. What do you have to say about that?
I saw the interview. Eric's a funny guy. I know it's all in good fun. Yeah. He seems like a really nice guy, and he has exciting fights. And I'll tell you what Sean Quinn hit me dead on the chin and did knock me out. I'm not going to go down that easy. Am I going to stand toe-to-toe with Eric Perez for 3 rounds? No, that's not going to be me. Am I going to stand with him? Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to be scared to stand with him, but I'm going to be a little smarter than just standing toe-to-toe, because we've seen what happens to his opponents when they stand toe-to-toe.
Well, it's definitely being billed as one of the Canadian top fights of the year, actually, after what he's been able to do at West and the fights and great performances that you've been put out here. Now on to Chance Whalen and Rec MMA coming up. What are your thoughts on Chance?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Chance, and one thing is unfortunate for Chance is I didn't underestimate him. I trained my butt. Rolly taught me a good lesson, and I trained as if I was fighting Adrian Woolley this Friday, so I'm ready. The weight cut starting. I'm much bigger, even bigger than I was a few years back. When I fought Ian Daw on 1 day's notice, I weighed about 143 at the weigh-in, so I was walking around at 143, and now I'm walking around 155. So with my strength and conditioning coach, everything seems to be coming into place now. The last 6 months has been a great rest, but I haven't been at home drinking beers and not doing anything. I've been in the gym every day, so
training.
Yeah.
So August 20th, Rec MMA. If you want to give us a prediction, let us know the fight. You think the fight's going to go down?
Man, I really want to go everywhere. I want to punish him on the feet. I want to punish him in the clinch, take him down, punish him on the ground, and I just I'm gonna fight. So
perfect. Once again, Don Wilson, Top MMA News. Remi Morvan, thank you so much for taking your time, and good luck on August 20th.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much.